law of cosines in a side-side-side case this time. So remember that the law of cosines in general looks like almost the Pythagorean theorem. C squared equals a squared plus b squared, but it's subtracted by 2ab cosine c. The labeling of the sides is not really important because it could be switched up because these are not necessarily right triangles. In fact, if C was a right angle, cosine of 90 degrees is 0, and this really reduces to the Pythagorean theorem. So let's draw ourselves a triangle, and A, B, C. We're given that side A is 41, side B is 62, and side C is 34. So with the law of cosines, if you're solving for an angle, always go for the biggest angle. We'll talk about in class why this is important, like why it becomes easier this way. But here in the video, just remember, always solve for the big angle first. So we're going to be solving for the big angle, which is angle B. So that means we'll have to set it up as B squared, 62 squared, equals A squared plus C squared minus 2 times A times C times the cosine of angle B. So subtracting, we're going to get 62 squared minus 41 squared minus 34 squared over minus 2 times 41 times 34 must be equal to the cosine of B. So therefore, cosine of B is equal to, I'm going to grab my calculator, 62, I'm going to put extra parentheses around here just to make sure I don't mess it up. 62 squared minus 41 squared minus 34 squared all over negative 2 times 41 times 34 is, negative 0.3611, which means that angle B is going to be found by doing an arc cosine here, or an inverse cosine, and it's 111.2 degrees to 1/10. So 111.2 degrees. Okay, now we have to go find one of the other angles. So in order to find angles, we're going to apply the law of sines now that we finally have the angle up here of 111.2 degrees. So with that angle, with the law of sines, when you're trying to find an angle, always recommend go for the smallest angle. So we're going to be finding angle C. So angle C, we would do sine of C over side C, which is 34, equals sine of the angle that we found, 111.2, over 62. So therefore, sine of C is going to be equal to 34 sine 111.2 over 62. Okay, so I'm going to grab my calculator. 34 times the sine of 111.2 divided by 62 should be about 0.5113 if you did this in the calculator. I'm kind of cramped on space here, so I'm going to inverse sine just to get the angle, because that's really what we're after here. And hopefully if you're following along, you got an angle of 30.7 degrees. So that one's 30.7 degrees. Okay, but fortunately now we still have one more piece to do, but that last piece is just the third angle. And we know that all the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So to find that third angle, I'm just going to take 180, I'm going to subtract the 111.2 that we found for B, and I'm going to subtract the 30.7 that we found for C. So 180 minus 111.2 minus 30.7 should be 38.1 degrees, and so that completes this triangle. Okay, pause the video, see if you can do one of these on your own. Here's your triangle, 59, 32, and 38. Okay, assuming you gave a shot here and paused it, tried it on your own, let's see if you can follow along and pause where you need to. So we got an A, B, C. A is 59, B is 32, C is 38. Since side A is the largest, I'm going to solve for angle first. So angle A would be found by doing A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2 times B times C times the cosine of angle A. So therefore, moving things over to the left-hand side, we will get 59 squared minus 32 squared minus 38 squared in the numerator over negative 2 times 32 times 38 is going to be cosine of A. So therefore, A is going to be 59 squared minus 32 squared minus 38 squared all over negative 2 times 32 times 38. If you did this on your own, you should have gotten, it looks like negative 0.416 or so. But I'm going to inverse cosine this just to get the angle, which is really what we want. And angle A is 114.6 degrees. 114.6. Okay, next we need to get one of the angles, one of the other angles. So this time we're going to use the law of sines. So I'll go for the shortest side to the smallest angle. We'll go for B. So for B, we would need sine of B over side B equals sine of angle A, which we just found, 114.6, over side A, which is 59. So therefore, sine B equals 32 sine 114.6 degrees over 59. And now the calculator, I'm going to use the calculator again here. 32 sine 114.6 over 59 is a 0.493. So if I inverse sine, I end up getting 29.5 degrees. So 29.5 goes here. So now that last angle is the simple one, right? C is just going to be 180 minus the other two angles, minus 114.6 minus 29.5. So 180 minus 114.6 minus 29.5 looks like that last angle is about 35.9 degrees.